One second. All right, I'm back. Um, I don't know if I have a cable. I had to move a cable. Now I don't know if I have one that'll connect to the controller. That's not it. Is that it? That's not it. Shit, hang on. Here we go. This one will work. At least I hope so. Pardon me. So update and cleaning. Turns out cleaning can make dust worse. Briefly, anyways. By kicking up dust into the air, and then it just gets circulated around and around and around again by the fans. You're gonna see an anime in the background when I'm switching tabs. That's not what you think. McDonald's has an isekai now. I guess they go to McDonald Land. You double check. Video, audio. Everything looks good. Can this hurt those? No, I can't. Oh, that would have been sick. That's a little bit too OP. There's no point to using anything else now. Honestly, when I mained it, I thought Summon Fairy was OP. I'm gonna go try to find that knight that was fighting the vampire before me. What if they have original dialogue now? It's the coaster. It's funny. As my bedroom got dustier and dustier, I progressed through different symptoms. First, the dry hacking cough, and then basically retching up phlegm. As I've cleaned it, I've been regressing back through the symptoms. I no longer retch, but I still very much I'm back to coughing basically. I have filters. I have like at least 3, maybe 4. I lost count. People would gift me air purifiers, not knowing I already had one. So now I have 3 of them. I couldn't really get rid of them easily. Problem is the filter fills up so fast. They don't all work equally well either. I don't see the knight anywhere. Probably grind this somewhere else. Guess I can just smash objects. Was this part of the boss fight and I didn't notice? It might have been. It might have been that by dousing the candles you can prevent him from regenerating or some nonsense. Let's go beat up some blood drinkers. How does the blood not coagulate or spoil? This sucks ass. This is really bad. Is that what I get? What he has? You're missing most of your parts, buddy. I'd be grinding. Poggers. Is the demon still back here? It better not be. Nope. There we go. Watch this be goated. Watch this be the best weapon in the game for raw damage per second. DPS. For the Dungeons and Dragons nerds. That's what I would do. That's also what they did in Unreal. The fully powered up blaster isn't the best weapon in the game, but it's damn good. Anyway. So now I have the dust out of the carpet, but the problem is it's in the air now. Oh god. I also washed the carpet. Step 2, I think, is to buy a special filter that's supposed to not need new filters. A purifier that doesn't need new filters for 5 years. Because I'm lazy about cleaning. The only reason I got cleaning done recently was I took mushrooms and an energy drink at the same time. It made me ashamed of how I live and motivated to improve it. I just have a stuffy nose all the time. All this started when the central air circulation fan broke down and it just never got fixed. Iron Club. Can I improve it more? I can improve it more. It's the one weapon which I can apparently repeatedly level up. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I was right on the money. This turns out to be a fucking baller weapon eventually. Probably also the one that the other skeleton had. I don't want to grind in the library. Library has some actual threatening monsters with status effects and shit. Do you think the blood is warm? If it's magically kept fresh, it might be feel kind of good to lie on your back and float. The density works out. If it's dense in the water, you should float easily. See what he has? I think that's what I get for fully leveling up the club. How we doing? Double crossbow all the way across the sky. So I've been bothering Mr. Beast lately. I've also been bothering Jan Koblik of the Marine Resource Development Foundation. About the possibility of using the Jules Undersea Lodge habitat as the set of a underwater reality show, which I think would be keen. Similar to Sam Hyde's fish tank, with only 2 people, because it's not a big habitat. Basically, my proposition is that hotel business slows down in the winter months because nobody wants to dive in that cold-ass water. But conversely, it makes a more picturesque set because the water is much more clear. Because algae dies in the winter and comes back in the warmer months. So you can only really get a blue ocean outside the window during winter months. So let's say between October and February, that's 5 months. You shoot 4 episodes a month. Might need some extra time because it'll be packed schedule. Is this an easy way to level my weapon? Blood Elephant knows what he did. He's had it too good for too long. That does not count towards my total. So you might have missed it, but do you know what Jules Undersea Lodge is? If you don't, go to jul.com. Otherwise, everything else I say won't make sense. jul.com. It's the only true underwater hotel in the world, by which I mean true underwater. I mean the whole thing is submerged. Which, I mean, it's like 3 rooms, moon pool module, and 2 habitation modules. One of which is divided into 2 bedrooms. There are a bunch of hotels in the world that have like 1 room that's underwater. That is significantly easier to build, though. There's also a few where the whole thing is submerged, but it doesn't have a moon pool because it's at 1 atmosphere. Because it's like a fancy glass bottom boat. You just go down a enclosed stairwell to get to it. I like the idea of one that's really hard to get out of. So, anyways, I know some of the people associated with that business through Dennis Chamberlain, and I've conversed with Jan Koblik before. Jan Koblik owns the MRDF, and through it, both Marine Lab, which is now up out of the water, refurbished and in a museum. Boo! And the Jules Undersea Lodge, which is still underwater. I guess his thinking was that you could teach people more about underwater habitats if they didn't have to go underwater to get to one, and could look at one above water. And better that he should take Marine Lab out than Jules, because Marine Lab is tiny. It's like the size of a FedEx van. So anyways, I contacted him and I said, why have you never done a reality show like Fish Tank, which it's a shame that name is already taken. That would have been the perfect name. The idea would be there's a $10,000 prize pot total, but it's a zero-sum game where actually it's not a zero-sum game. There's a way to win where both people get money, but if you both stick it out to the end, then you both get $5,000. You each get half. But if whoever leaves before the other person forfeits their half and the other person gets the full 10,000. That's part of the twist. And the other part is that they're people who hate each other. Like an Israeli and a Palestinian. Maybe not, because you don't want to murder on live TV. But like a MAGA Republican and a Aquafresh toothpaste hair Democrat. Like the most far left and most far right people you can find. And since they probably can't scuba dive, they have to spend the full time in the habitat. And probably you won't be able to get them down there easily because it takes a long time to get scuba certified. But you could. They used to just use a hookah rig, which is a long air tube with a regulator on the end. I don't know about the legality. I know they stopped doing that. That's the downside of having a real habitat that you have to come in through a moon pool. It used to be La Chalupa underwater habitat in like 1995 through 1980 through 95. It was originally stationed in like Portugal at 500 feet depth, which is the second deepest any habitat has ever been. Well, unless you count like the marginal differences between Sea Lab 3 and Conshelf 3, which were very close to the same depth. I count them together. They're both really close to being 600 feet deep. So technically it's the third deepest, but I grouped those two together. I heard this counts towards your total. I don't know if it does or not. I'm doing it just in case. Would you watch that? There would be an episode for everybody. Maybe it'd be like Enemy Mine, where living in close proximity, they would get to know each other and they wouldn't hate each other. They would see eye to eye, or at least get a better idea of where the other was coming from. There's like a billion different pairings you can do. Even one season of 4 episodes a month, 5 months. That's 20 episodes. It would actually have to be shot over 6 months because you've got to have time between the shootings. That didn't sound right. You know what I mean? So start in September, end in March. Then you can still rent it out as a hotel during the warm months. Sorry about that dust. It is so dusty in here. I don't know what to do about it. I'm running a humidifier which is supposed to capture the dust. It's just dusty, dusty, dusty. I think the issue is that my filters are... I told you you'd find a use for that thing. I love that little box. It's going to be really sad when it reaches the end of support. It was kind of an abortion. It never got a chance to thrive. There's not really a point to making a newer Atari console either, because the games that are going to be published by Atari aren't going to need better hardware than that. Hold on, I gotta wipe my nose. VCS is also just a beautiful machine, which unfortunately the reason it's a beautiful machine is that it was designed by one of the designers of the Xbox, which got ripped off by Atari. Same old Atari. They say it's not the same Atari, but they sure act like it. They're making better choices now, but they're no less evil. I guess that was a decision made before Wade Rosen. This is proving really hard to level up. You can crit them. If you crit them, it's a one-shot. Not always. How much money do I have? More than I thought. So, Short Talk, you want to tell them the good news about Antarctica? It isn't necessarily good news just yet, but it's close. It's another step. See that? One and done. You would be in Antarctica. Which base did you apply to again? If it's McMurdo, that's pretty cool, honestly. Palmer Station kind of sucks. New McMurdo is cool. Old McMurdo sucks. By the time you get assigned anywhere, if you get McMurdo, it'll be new McMurdo. One of the buildings is done. The new McMurdo is going to be like a fucking Disney cruise compared to how it was. You won't have to go outside most of the time because there will be 2 giant buildings connected by Utilidor. Be like a big old college campus / airport. Sick. Neo McMurdo. Neo McMurdo is going to be nicer than Amundsen Scott. That's the place you want to go if you don't want to do anything too dangerous, but you still want the comforts and the sights. Although McMurdo is on the coast, so there's not as much snow. In the summer season, the shore is pretty bare. But you just look inland. You just look inland, and you will see plenty of void. It's not as ethereal as being out in the middle of the ice where there's just nothing but white void in all directions. But you do get the sea, you get the ocean. You get ocean views. That's the place to go if you can do it. Honestly, they should make some extra money by doing tourism. Although I guess there's independent companies that do tourism, like fuck, I forget the name. Echo Camp. They have their own little mini Antarctic base, made out of like dome pods for futurism. Doesn't seem as cool because you never see nighttime. It's just day all the time. You know, the Summerlands makes perfect sense as a Viking afterlife. Because if you've been far enough north where it's day or night for 6 months at a time, you might reason, well, there's got to be somewhere where it's day all the time, and it's just summer constantly, and I don't have to fucking freeze my nipples off like this. Clerk. What's up, Hamster Flag? Hamster Flag, do you know about Jules Undersea Lodge? JUL.com? Formerly the La Chalupa Underwater Laboratory. Pardon my coughing. It's dusty in here. I vacuumed and vacuumed and vacuumed, and it just made it worse temporarily, while the air purifiers take the dust out of the air. I have only myself to blame. Depression fucks you up so bad that your health gets worse, and you don't think anything of it because you think I deserve to suffer, as if your bad health is psychosomatic, or you think that your surroundings are because you're sick instead of the other way around. Depression fucks you up. So bad, in fact, that in my case, for many years I didn't do any cleaning. I thought I was cleaning. But here's how it fucks you up. I was vacuuming, but I was doing the bare minimum. And I didn't think to check if the vacuum was even sucking anything in. So for at least 6 years, I was vacuuming with a vacuum that didn't pick up anything. Because the tube was clogged. It was doing no good whatsoever, just beating up dust into the air. So I unclogged it. I found it can clog in 2 places. I unclogged the other place. Suction restored. I vacuumed once, full capsule of dust. Emptied that out, vacuumed again, full capsule. There was still more. I was breathing that. I should look into that. At any rate, it's getting the stuff now. It got 2.5, more like 2.25 capsules before it stopped picking stuff up. So then I think, okay, the rug is clean somewhat, and I should wash it. I used my rug washer, which I spent $99 on, and I had huge clumps of crap come out of it, of like wet, congealed dust and hair, because I had been trying to use it on a carpet that had not actually had the dust removed from it, and I didn't understand what I was doing because I'm a stupid fucking man that does not know the domestic arts. So I had to pull all the crud out with my fingers, and I disassemble the cleaning head, and then do that, and then put it back together. Steel club. I can still upgrade it. I'm 90% sure. No, I can't. Damage 68. Exactly as I hoped. It is far beyond the damage of any other weapon. This is, in fact, a sleeper weapon. They start you out with a shit weapon, and then they trick you into thinking that it's terrible. But if you upgrade it... The legend goes long ago during the first stage of magic, which was the starting kingdom. Withheld the castle's provisions, let them eat the rats. He's not sentenced to death. Exile with the cavernous steps carved from the flowing moonlight. His eyes were plucked out so he could never look up from the well. His arms was cut off so he could never climb out. Rats surrounded him with his only nourishment. He continuously starved and never died. Using the last of his magic, the exiled winged Witch King turned himself to stone. Crumbling a statue of him, one worshipped by rats. That's fucking cool. This is a fucking cool game. It's no Dread Delusion, but it has its own little thing. It's kind of neat. So anyway, Jules Undersea Lodge. Reality TV show. Picture it. The idea is that there's a prize pot of $10,000. Well, if you get a bunch of crits with this stone club, it's beastly. I wish I could upgrade it to have spikes on it. You put 2 people who don't like each other in the habitat. And they're not scuba certified, so they can't leave easily. They have to request to leave. Maybe like a Republican, a Democrat, or Jewish person, Muslim. TERF and a trans rights activist. And whoever leaves first forfeits their half of the pot. Whoever sticks it out to the end gets the full 10,000, or if they both stick it out to the end, they get 5,000 each. The idea would be to shoot this in the winter months so that the view outside is blue. Because when it warms up, the algae grows and it's a green view outside. It means the water's cold, but they won't be swimming in it except for when they enter and leave. How do I get in there? I should get the rapier and see if it can be upgraded. Or the needle. This is a damn good weapon. It charges quickly. I'm missing something. I don't know how to go through. Oh, there, that's how you do that. I miss having a light. Let me get a light. Sorry. This is what happens when you don't do chores for, God, how many years? Almost never. I think it was fully cleaned when I moved out and then when I moved back in, so 2018 it would have been cleaned out and the carpet would have been steamed. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's 7 years without properly being cleaned. With half-assed cleanings. Now let's see what the stats are. Oh, it charges fast. That's a gimmick. There's less defense though. It's not upgradable. This one is. I bet you it just becomes a dark rapier, and then I'll have two of them. This shit weapon. Got great reach though. Get a bunch of crits, it's not that bad. Snails do not have blue blood. Oh, that one guy who I gave the book to. He'll be done translating it by now. You ever see Daphne and the Brilliant Blue? It's a great, what I would guess what I would call C-punk anime. It's a little bit fan service heavy, and it's not like in a good way, because the art's kind of simple. It just makes you feel gross for watching it. There's a lot of scuba diving, but they're wearing like futuristic swimsuits that don't really cover much. Everybody lives in a floating city that used to be underwater. It's got like a retractable dome canopy after an apocalypse. It doesn't do as much with the city as it could. Suicide Gargantua does more of it. Fire and Rage of Kingdoms, Flame. Oh, I get a ring. Cool. Let's use this on something. Suicide or Gargantua makes good use of the ocean setting. So does Kenran Bruto side of the Mars Daybreak, which is set on a terraformed in the oceans of a terraformed Mars, notably. I think there's one or two more. Blue Submarine number 6 is probably the best one. It does a lot with the technology and the setting. It's basically like the first 25% of Tengen, Toppat, and Lagan, in that Earth is overthrown by beastmen created to oppress humanity. But now they're underwater beastmen, and there's no I don't think mechas. There's submarines. I want to say Gargantua has the best plot. Come out sometime. Gargantua is more like Waterworld. It's about a pilot from an advanced offshoot of humanity in space with like high-tech spacecraft fighting the Evolvers, which are like bioengineered offshoot of humanity also. They rejected technology and mutated themselves into spacefaring body horror eldritch creatures. He gets shot down to the planet that he doesn't know is Earth. I believe it's Earth. Might not be. Forget. Might be an ocean world. At any rate, the fleet. They have like a society that's made by cobbled together ships to make big floating settlements. But they also have crab-like underwater mechas, which is cool. Which we also saw in Avatar. Alright, we can go upgrade this now. I know for a fact James Cameron watched it because he took a lot of the best elements from Suicide No Gargantia for Avatar 2 The Way of Water. It borrows heavily from that anime. I like the themes though, it's got a good story. They don't all... Daphne kind of has a boring story. It doesn't really connect to the setting very much. Blue Submarine number 6 is better. I really like Kenra and Buto's side because underwater mechs fighting in the oceans of Mars. How can you not like that? Motherfuckers. What now? How now, Brumcow? Those give a lot more than Skelemans. Although I swear, if it just gives me Dark Rapier, I'll be quite cross. Silver Rapier. Can I upgrade it further? 27. It's the same as Dark Rapier. I think it's like no, it's exactly the same. Huh. Slightly better. Guess it's clobbering time. If I had known you could upgrade weapons more than once, there should really be more upgrade levels for every weapon. I'm just stealing from the shopkeeper now. Call him, Dad. Hang on. So I guess there's a way to jump down between levels of Terminus prison. I've opened the door. I've got a box fan blowing dust into the rest of the house, which is not ideal. I've got a forced air thingamajig. It pulls air in from outside. I don't know how good that is. I guess it should be the other way around. I don't know. I can't figure out basic shit about how to stay alive. I'm like the Kakapo. Aha, you can get down to lower levels. Need light. How are you supposed to figure that out organically? Terminus prison key. Trick now is to get up to the first floor again. That was scary. I did not like that. You bastard. You ever had the nightmare where you die but you don't die? Like your body's inert but you're still conscious? And you can feel everything? Like you can feel your body decomposing? Huh. So far, nothing good is coming out of exploring. Look who it is. Masked guard, seller, summon prisoner. I'm trying to hear, my hair was missing. That's a dead body. cold in here now. That's the conundrum. Can't have it warm unless you keep door closed, but then you can't filter air through. Let me blow my nose. When I fucking saw how much crud the vacuum picked up from that carpet, I felt like Asmund Gold. How could all that have been in the fucking carpet? What are you? I don't like that. Whatever that is, I don't like it. Oh, baby. Everything's almost where it needs to be. I got everything out of the carpet, except for the room outside, which is piled top to bottom in clutter. Now I can do everything else. I'm disgusted with myself that I was breathing all that. I'm just letting things get worse. I keep thinking I deserve that, but then that's the thinking that got me into this. I don't deserve that. I can live. I can live better. I don't have to live like an animal. Life doesn't have to be that way. Broken lance. I'll have to fix it. I can fix it though. Let me go grind it. It's already quite powerful. Look at the design of lances, just designed to widen the hole you're poking in somebody. It's a guy poker. poke you. I poke you good. Oh, it's gonna take a while. Oh, what the fuck? There you go. When I'm outside for long enough, it clears up. I will be healthy one day. I put everything I have recently into just solving this one problem. I was happier when I was healthy. I don't have any fucking money, but I have a car. I've got a e-bike. I got food and water. And a good computer. I've got things I need to be happy. I'll never have a wife, but a lot of other guys are in the same boat. So far, I want to say the Vampire Castle. If I had to choose the coziest, it would either be the forest or this one. Nobody answered my question about jewels, if that's a good idea or not. Nobody cares about that. It's a hard lesson. I was talking to my dad about the 3D camera I got him. He says, I don't understand why this didn't take off. I'm like, well, that's because you're like me. You don't have a theory of mind. You can't grasp that what's cool to you is not cool to everybody. And in fact, normies have markedly different desires out of a camera, namely greater and greater definition before they start to care about three-dimensional anything. Oh, Jesus, you can kill one of its brains. That's fucked up. I guess it has 3 brains. And they're all in control of the body. Wow, this takes a lot to level up. I mean a lot. I might want to go fuck around with some skeletons. So a really beautiful woman today. Looked about 24, Mexican, had a unicorn figure, very slim waist, very flat stomach, and just gigantic, humongous frittatas. Beautiful, and they weren't fake. She didn't have any tattoos. It wasn't like, it looked like just a naturally superb figure. I didn't look long because, of course, that's a crime. And if you look a certain way, then you apparently have a reasonable expectation that peasants will not look at you in a public setting under penalty of a public humiliation ritual on TikTok. But holy moly, at times like this, you think about how many beautiful women an average man, saw in his lifetime in the medieval times. Like 1, maybe 2. Royalty was not guaranteed to be attractive. In fact, very often they weren't because they're inbred. And a lot of modern beauty just comes down to good nutrition and medicine, because if you look at photos from the 1800s, people were just broadly not as attractive due to bouts with disease early in life and stunted growth, not having access to good dentistry. People always talk about what would a medieval serf do if you let him hit the Benjamin, or made him taste a spicy Dorito. They ever think about what a medieval serf would do if he saw, like, Rihanna? Like, would he just helplessly start explosively nutting everywhere? Like, just shooting? Because probably he doesn't touch himself that much either, because he's terrified of the Bible and clergy. So his balls are ready to burst. And you show him a high potency, weapons grade modern woman. There's no way he'll be able to not react to that. To what degree do we select for such women? I was thinking about how Russian women are often very beautiful, but the men look like Shrek. Because the men were selecting for beauty and the women were selecting for strength. They lived in a relatively savage environment, in conditions where that was still an important quality to have. I think some of it's also a phenomenon. I've been following gender discourse on Twitter, where women are saying we don't actually want supercut men. We want men with a dad bod who don't take life that seriously. And men are like, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying. But then there's the exact same meme with the gender swapped came out like a couple weeks ago, where all the men agreed that the woman with really done up makeup and plastic surgery looked really unapproachable. Whereas just a smiling, friendly woman without any makeup with naturally good features looked much more like wife material. We're more similar than we think. But the other aspect of gender discourse I've been paying attention to is the exchange rate, where women and men are both complaining about not being able to get partners that are as attractive as they think they deserve. Whereas the market really decides that. And women are also at the same time complaining that the men that they sleep with off of Tinder treat them as replaceable. And it's like, yeah, newsflash, it's because you are replaceable. You're sleeping with men who can replace you easily. They have many better options. I think that realization later in life is why you see a lot of beautiful women with ugly or plain looking boyfriends. Not ogres, but like they stop valuing appearance because that's not the primary value proposition of a man. Primary value proposition of a man is defense and earning. And also just allowing himself to be walked all over. And not reacting and never getting angry. I get more EXP for fighting Vampies. I haven't thought about dating in a long time just because I'm so gross, because my health is compromised by my surroundings and depression prevented me from cleaning. It's a vicious cycle. No GF equals depressed. Depressed equals don't take care of yourself. Which equals sick. Which equals repulsive. This is spooky without light. At the same time, I've been hitting the gym, so when I do get healthy, my body's at least in good shape. I've been eating less, too. I've been dieting and exercising. My body's like, turned against me. No animation to disappear, really? Boo. It's really funny that cleaning made it worse briefly. Instead of better. How am I doing? Pretty good. I'll go back and recharge. I did this whole thing once without saving and died and had to do it again. That was not my finest hour. It's a bad memory of this game. Which is entirely my fault. I'm not trying to pretend it's not. I shouldn't blame it on the game. Need more potions. Probably go to Wings Rest. No gifts, brat. I'm too mercantile. She's there for morale. That one. What do I get for listening to all those stories? Better be good. No grind skelemans. How good are vampires for grind? They seem to actually be really good for grinding. They're also more interesting to fight. I don't want to do it in the dark though. I'll do it in the castle. When I go out long enough, like all the gunk in my sinuses dries up, and I have like nostrils and a throat that's just caked with dried stuff. It feels disgusting. I hate being biological. Good news is that mushrooms plus energy drinks are like a magic elixir. It gives me several hours during which I don't have depression brain. I can see clearly for the first time in ages. I feel motivated, I feel energetic. Energy drinks alone don't help, because if you're just still depressed, you'll just be depressed faster. But a mushroom gummy more like three or four. 3 is usually enough. Plus 1 energy drink, and I can fucking work for hours. Taking out bags of trash, cleaning up stuff from the common room. Lifting furniture inside my bedroom to vacuum under. I'm like a machine. The last time I did that, I had like 2 or 3 energy drinks and LSD, and that was on the day I had to move out of the Nopo house. I listened to Metroidvania on repeat. I just worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. Look at Aquino. You see. Almost. Now I know they're really good for grinding, though. Watch it be possible to level this up twice. I guess you don't have to grind. It's just Akuma Kira has made a good call. Grinding is something you can do if you have to have the best weapons early. But that's on you. I need to respawn for this to reload the monsters. I really want to make a game. I need to make a game. It would have to be something I feel strongly enough about that I would keep working on it. I want to say either based on Terminal Sunset, if it's a horror game, Blue Light Chronicles, if it's a fantasy game. Or a remake of that one game, Night and Nowhere, that the developer has given up on. But is easily the most promising game I've ever seen. And it's a damn shame the person who made it's a lazy communist. It seems to make flavor of the month social cause games. And it struck gold one time and then never again. A Night in Nowhere is fucking brilliant. It's a genius. It's the game of life. Where you live your life and you choose what you value and what you're going to pursue. Based on what fulfills you. But they never finished it, and the graphics are very basic because they didn't put a lot of effort into presentation. It's kind of like Tower Unite if Tower Unite was meant to be single player. I wouldn't want that to be my claim to fame, though, is remaking someone else's idea. I don't think they could sue me because all their games are free because they're fucking communist. Oh, fuck. I hate those. So once I get my health fixed, I don't know what I'm planning to do. I'm 40 now, in my 40s, plural. Dating is over. Unless I had lots of money, which I don't. I guess just for something constructive to do. So I don't die old, fat, and gross. I have a swole body at my funeral. We're gonna have to build a wider casket at the shoulders. I wonder what fat caskets look like. I've never thought of that. Here, let's find out. First, I wanted to show you the McDonald's Isekai anime. McDonald's is now an isekai. Everything's an isekai. Nothing can be left alone. That's fucking McDonald Land, apparently. It's fucking Magic Knight Ray Earth with Big Macs. They don't even get clown punk outfits. But they all suddenly know fucking parkour. Look at the expensive animation quality, though. You would think logically that the king of Burger Kingdom would be the Burger King. Study every frame for implications. Where did they get the burger? Is the bird what they make the McChickens from? The marketing language. See, look at these guys. No, hold on. Look at these motherfuckers. That's how they should be dressed, the main characters. If you're gonna have them be in McDonald Land, everybody should be wearing clown punk. Like, that's part of the appeal of the setting. What the fuck, right? Fuck the what? I should not laugh at this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look at these. Look at these fucking things. Look at that. Look. That's like a studio apartment. You could live in there. Too fat to be cremated. Jesus. Look at the size of that shit. Can you imagine how big the grave has to be? See what I mean? It's like a clubhouse. This is money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot. You gotta remove him with a crane. All right, we've seen that. Gonna have an oversized cot. That's 4,000. Look at that. Jesus. That's a boat. You could make a boat out of that. You could make a car out of that'd be a fucking sick 2-seater car if you wanted a roadster. That's a free idea. Anyone can take that. No, not that you should. Many of my ideas are in poor taste. Usually they are. I had a story idea once where people who are done with life, but who are too cowardly to commit suicide, would sign the government document that would. What's in it for the government is that people reduce their carbon footprints by living the rest of their lives in a small space, in a giant giant. It's like an underground coffin-shaped room made out of shipping container material. That's as big as the studio apartment. It's got a home gym. They have an elevator to send meals down to you. You can pay your way with whatever gig work you can get online. You've got internet access and computer, but you can never come up. You have to live your life as though you're dead to the world and exist only on the internet. And the story is about how two people who had already given up on life and had already made the one-way choice to live in the coffin rooms fell in love over the internet, but were unavoidably completely separated, so they started burrowing to each other. That's the beginnings of an idea. People often give me ideas for stories, and I'm like, that's not enough. A story has to have a lot of stuff going on. Like, they'll give me the barest concept for a premise. They expect me to auto-generate. When I have enough ideas to go with that, though, I'll think about it. What's good, Weeb? We're grinding to improve this weapon. I've got a feeling it's going to be a mangler. It's going to be powerful. Well, it has a really long charge-up time. Sorry. Did you tune in soon enough to see the McDonald's Isekai commercial, Weeb? I feel like you would have really enjoyed that. If not, scroll back. I guess you can't until it's over. Or can you? There's a anime girl Isekai set in McDonald land now. I guess we can do an encore. We gotta get safe first, though. Or you could look it up on your own. No, I'm not talking about The Devil's a Part-Timer. I'm talking about a McDonald's Isekai. Would I lie to you? Here it is. I didn't fucking lie to you. You're about to have your mind blown wide open. See? Look. Look at the quality. For Taborglar. This one is, yeah. There's been a couple McDonald's anime commercials. Borglar Daisuke. What's the word for delicious again? It's like oishi. Oishi Borglar. I knew it. So that's a thing that exists now. But at what cost? Maybe you'll answer my question, Filthy Weave. Nobody else had an opinion. Do you know what Jules Undersea Lodge is? JUL.com. Visit it. I've got what I think is $1 million idea. You know Jules Lodge? It's the only fully underwater hotel because it's repurposed into a hotel from an underwater laboratory that was used between 1980 and 1995 or thereabouts in Portugal and then in Hawaii. Originally at a depth of 500 feet. One of the guys that worked on it was so in love with it because it was it's an unusually large habitat as habitats go, and well designed. It had a lot of really good design qualities. Not the least of which is that it has its own built-in ballast tanks, so it can be surfaced and relocated easily. So, Mr. Beast was talking about what was things he wanted to do, and I suggested why not have a reality TV show type thing, where you can find 2 people to Jules Lodge, because that's really all that will fit in there. They say up to 6, but that's assuming you have 2 of them are children. Because the bunk beds, like the upper bunk of the bunk beds, is fold down at its child size and will only support a child. So it's like a mother, a father, and two children. Then I guess someone sleeps on the couch, and I don't know where number 6 is supposed to go. But really, if it's 2 adults and no children, and they don't know each other well, there's 2 bedrooms, each with a bed. So you ideally want there to be only 2 adults down there at a time. So my pitch for the show is a $10,000 prize pot, and you put 2 people down there who are likely to hate each other because they have opposing religious or political views, and whoever leaves first surrenders their half of the prize to the other person. So basically, last man standing gets $10,000, or each get $5,000 if they both stick it out to the end. Like Sam Hyde's fish tank, but with 2 people. In a much smaller space, but at the bottom of a lagoon. And they can't leave easily because they probably aren't scuba certified, so they don't know how to use diving gear, and you have to get them down there in the first place with a hooker rig, which is diving for babbies. Right now we can go upgrade it. Would you watch that? What would you change? Who would you want to see down there? I'd want to see either Sal Grover or J.K. Rowling and India Willoughby or who's the one that looks like the Crypt Keeper? Brianna Wu. That sounds like must-see TV to me. Also, subscribers could watch it while it's being filmed over live cameras. You have the real possibility somebody might die at the bottom of the ocean. They can get food down to them easy. It's got fresh water. It's in a protected lagoon, so hurricanes don't threaten them. Hot damn. Can I upgrade it again or not? $59, that's pretty good. This is even better though, it's still better. What's the reason to use one over the other? Does one have a better reach? Speed, faster speed. Slightly greater reach. Well, Lance is gimped. Let's go back to the prison terminus. Would you subscribe to watch live cameras of what goes on there, though? I would. Sounds like a grand old time. Maybe Ethan and Hassan. You know, it'd suck is if you had a mucus allergy. It would be never ending. See, allergy makes more mucus. Feeds into itself. I hate whatever that is. I hate it. Makes me extremely uncomfortable. This is quite a large space. Is this the arena? Worth a shot. Why is the club the best weapon? It seems like a meme. No, I've been here. I've been here. Or is this... Is it symmetrical? Nope. What did I max out at? Like 50? Who would you choose to go into the habitat? I want to say 1 week long submersions, because that's long enough for people to get sick of each other. There's operating costs to think of. I knew it. Lots of great storytelling in this game. I was just thinking it's something they could do with the habitat when bookings are slow in the winter. It would raise public awareness of underwater structures. Fishing spear. Oh, it's a replacement torch. Oh, that's a projectile weapon. That's better than the crossbow. Alright, now I have a projectile weapon that also lights things up for me. That's good, because I can no longer use the torch. Torch got obsoleted a long time ago. That's pretty good. There's a fire effect. Where am I now? Is this another floor? Wait, that means I can switch to a different spell. This is set up pretty well for that. Alright, the knight who was waiting here has gone down below, I guess. I think you can use the enemy's weapons. And then I'm now to where I can one-shot them. No. Wait a minute, wasn't there... Wasn't there like a sword I couldn't get to? If I have the key now, I should be able to. Here we go. No, that's not it. I'm 100% sure there's a sick-ass weapon to be found. If I can remember how I got down here. And back up. Huh. Guess we gotta go down to go up. I could really use a grappling hook or flying spell. There's something up there. Wonder what I have to. I have to find out. Probably nothing. Probably nothing. Probably is a waste of time. But maybe not. Remember Power Thirst? It's liquid meth in a can. That guy kept making videos under his own name. I know Picnic Face. I think everyone knows Picnic Face, but I did not know that his own channel, branded with his own name, had independent sketches on it that were not on the Picnic Face channel. I dimly recall having seen some of his stuff. They used to be my jam. Sponder me that. Like the PowerPoint Meltdown and the Halifax Monster Truck Show. And the Ferd 15,000. F-10,000. Huh. There's a way around. Oh, that's all that is. What is this? Meow. 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 Hello, baby cat. Mioro. Mioro. Mioron. She has her own language, of which humans need not know anything. Kitty cat. Spawner me this. You want this truck. You gotta have this truck. Oh. That'll crush me. Well, now I'm stuck. Oh, we can go in tunnels. That's not good. This time, more potions. Garf. I wish my body would stop. If it's an allergy, I wish I knew it was to what. It better not be the cat. Now we know where to go. I should know how much weapons I'm carrying. Dude's carrying like a Resident Evil 4 gypsy caravan. Like the guy who sells you stuff, his caravan is on your back. Or the RE8 one. We'll find our way down to the lowest level. This time we'll get that Skeleton Man. I don't want to be enemies. I want to be friends with the Skeleton Man. I open that. Read. Learn Arena. Dark Skull. That's terrifying. I don't like him one bit. Bone. That's all? That's all we get? We get bones for fighting him? Where's the fucking key? How does anything kill him, by the way? The implication is he eats what comes down here, but he doesn't eat. There's two. There's two. There's three. There's skeleton dogs. There were skeleton dogs. There's 3 skeletons and 2 skeleton dogs. I only thought there was 1. I didn't know there was that many. I was ready for 1. I was not ready for all that. Lyrian longsword. That's new. I keep picking stuff up and not realizing it. Did I get it from over here? Don't follow me. No, they're following me. Wow, I really hated that. That was not good times. That's an angel. And this is a new area. don't like that. I'm slow now. What, I get injured? That's devious. They're fast moving, so it slows you down. Uh-oh. You don't seem like an enemy to me. Maledictus. I need to read up on this. It doesn't seem hostile. Well, you can use lithomancy, but it just makes a crying baby sound. Blue flame mark. I never got Dark Skull, did I? That was somewhere else. Oh, I'm dead. Good to know that that's there. I also have a lot of trouble fighting those dogs. Honestly, I don't even know where I got Dark Skull. Time to fucking grind again, I guess. It will surely be a big help to have all of our levels weaponed up. I mean, all of our weapons leveled up. I've long since learned in my life that it's easier to just finish and then correct myself than to try to correct it mid-sentence. So I've been making great progress in my novel, adding lots of funny little cute character moments. They've also fled Crane City because of Gradle finding their safe house and killing a bunch of people who were there to hear Declan's sermons, being that Declan represents a threat to Gradle's authority. And they fled to... Crane City is basically a partly flooded Portland, where people still live in the skyscrapers, but they're connected by elevated walkways. And they have compressed air-powered boats and jet skis and mopeds for traveling the walkways and platforms. And they have salvage platforms that run along rails that can descend into the water and bring up whole remains of like a car for smelting. Their main industry is salvaging artifacts from underwater. So they fled to Bridgeburg, which is a shipping container ship without any containers on it, or maybe a few, that's got beached halfway under a bridge in shallow water. So it's the combination of the bridge and the ship. You could also call it Shipburg. And because they got raided by Gradolf, burning their crops on land, trying to force them to buy into his compressed air network, by which he exploits people. They moved all their farming shipside. They brought a bunch of topsoil and layered it onto the bridge and onto the deck of the ship. It's like an artificial island now. It's got crops, it's got a little garden, it's got a hammock. And all their dwellings are made out of the shipping containers, but hung from the underside of the bridge by chains. So they don't take up any space that could be used for crops. They have a labor trading economy, although they use silver to deal with outsiders. And there's 3 main founding families that everyone's descended from. And you can't move in there or buy property. It represents a different model of civilization. That's sort of a nationalist model versus the globalist model of Crane City. For compare and contrast. Nothing is held up as the right answer or the wrong answer. It just shows that there are upsides and downsides to each, but that they're different. Ramiel, the Greybeard, Electromancer Supreme, compares Crane City to a lady of the night in that strange men come and go at all hours and then leave with lighter pockets, but none are invested in the city itself. Whereas Bridgeburg is a chaste maiden. The youth of Bridgeburg enjoy hydrofoil sailboarding, which they're able to make using blades from by shaving black spires, which are made of carbon fiber, something only machines can make. Kyrie and Taryn and the gang have been on scavenging runs to pay back their debt to Kyrie, who does not help anyone out of the goodness of her heart. They've been to a derelict zoo, in which most of the animals locked in their cages starved to death centuries ago, but some escaped and now live natively in small populations in and around the zoo. There's a scene where a tiger fights a giant war robot. It's pretty sick. Monkeys fight smaller robots in like a monkey versus robot war. Gotta have monkeys versus robot war. There's an earlier scene where Kyrie's falcon, she's a falconer. She's kind of a Mary Sue, but she has downsides too to make her less likable. Anyway, her falcon is used as an anti-drone tool. It can take down flying robots. It's really just about nature reclaiming the world and holding its own against the new mechanized menace, and being an inspiration to Terran. Declan's started a cult, basically. He found desperate people living under tyranny in Crane City and rubbed his hands together and said, "Aha, I know what to do about this." because he is the steel driver of the group, just like Gregory was the steel driver in the village, and he watched Gregory minister to everyone in the village over and over. So he's like, he preaches to them that a better life is possible, that Gradolf is not invincible and can be overthrown if John was able to overthrow the steam engine. I'm gonna try to behead the goat. You can behead the goat. How are we doing on sword? I don't know, maybe. I saw someone reviewing it saying, if you like this, you should really play the Kingsfield games first. That's not true. That's backwards. This game takes all the best things of Kingsfield from what I've seen and greatly streamlines and sugarcoats it and gets rid of a lot of the really awkward, janky crap. You'll probably like Kingsfield more if you play this game and assume Kingsfield was like this. There's a reason people who like the series advise you to start with Shadow Tower. That was the best the Kingsfield formula ever got in terms of smoothing out the rough edges and expanding on the gameplay formula. Honestly, all we really need is a Shadow Tower remaster. Not too shabby so far. Didn't clean most everything though. Like they have elevators. What time period is this? Is this the future? Because remember we found a home entertainment system in the basement of that castle. The thing about those libraries is when N64 games were good, they were really good. They're the sort of games you'd play over and over for 10 years. I'd say PS1 had the greater quality overall if you count like 5 great games as equivalent to one awesome game. Then the overall level of total quality was greater with PS1. PS1 had a lot of really great creative games too. But Nintendo was fucking on fire in first party in those days, and so was Rare. Where the fuck am I going? There we go. That's really all you needed. Those were every single one of those was a fucking spectacular game. But yeah, you didn't get as many games as presents because the games were like $90. Not that bad, but $70 at least. They came on cartridges. PS1 games were regularly $40, which is much easier to talk a parent into. See what I'm doing. No more than half. This had better be worth it. Let's use vampires. I'm living in a dusty room. So you inhale dust all night while you're sleeping. We are on your side, so mucus just drains down your throat. And then when you wake up, you spend the whole day coughing it up. But once you've coughed it up, it's bedtime again, so it just starts cycling anew. The only time I'm ever able to breathe easily is when I go on vacation, like when I went to Susie's cabin, I think last year. After like 2 days, I finished coughing up all the dust. And for another 1 day, I was able to breathe. I have a box fan. I prefer the type of filter that you pull on over it. Is that not as good? I prefer elegant solutions to things. You solve problems the way that my dad does. What if that doesn't solve it? What if I've been on the wrong track all this time? What if it's an allergy? I mean, I'm sure dust removal and mold removal and flea removal and all the other crap doesn't hurt. What if it's what if it's been a cat allergy this whole time? It better not be. And it never was a problem with Jenny Cat. Vampiric ashes. How we doing? Pretty good. Vampires are good. We're grinding. What am I gonna do if I am allergic to my little kitten cat? I love her so much. Guess I just suffer until she dies. Because I'm not living without my cat. What's that? What's QTC stand for? Well, fire weapons are crazy effective. But I'm trying to level this one up. I don't want to be on meds the rest of my life. I love my cat though. What are we doing? Pretty close. Well, these really fuck up the phantoms. Swords do nothing. Why is it called QTC? What can I make with those? over the counter. Alright, I'm a big dummy. We all knew that. Benadryl's supposed to make me sleep. So I missed out on $115 $110 last week because I brought in my squeezy stress ball from the car when I went to the plasma center, and they said, oh, if you go out to your car unaccompanied after answering the questionnaire, we have to turn you away. I could have gone a second time and just gotten $40, but I really don't go for the 40, I go for the 70. But you have to do the 40 first. There we go. One more. We better not have a second level. Well, actually, I want it to, so I shouldn't say that. Oh. Could have saved some mana, pardon me. Yeah, no, that's when I stopped going to CSL. Although it's not that much more at BioLife, they just disguise it by having one payment be bigger than the other. If you even them out, one payment would be 50 and the other would be 60. Or I guess 55 each. If you did exactly half-sies. I'm out of money. I got food. I got emergency food. I always have backups of canned food and such. It's not going to be eating well. I had a pulled pork sandwich, which was a ripoff recently, which had very little pork. It was supposed to be quarter pound, $6, and it was the most measly little quantity of pulled pork you ever saw in your life. Wish I could undo that. You're in great longsword. Can it be upgraded again? 69 compared to how much for the club? It's the same as the club. But it's faster. This is the new best weapon. Finally a proper sword that doesn't suck dick. Well, that's the nicest thing you can do for a person. Let's go take on the Skelemans again. Pretty good, pretty good. So I can't upgrade it any longer. Fair enough. It would have been OP if I could. Oh, hey, I died before I retrieved that last time. I guess fighting water monsters with the spear should be more effective. I mean, that's signaled pretty heavily. It's a fisherman's spear. If it doesn't have a modifier that gives it better efficacy against fish, I don't know, man. Nope. Is there a boss? What is that? Well, no. That wasn't very polite. Good sound design. He's just scary. He's scary, man. I hear him down there. I should really go get the blue flame spell first, shouldn't I? I think there's an intended order to do things in. We have to find the slain angel, and then we have to climb the ladder, and then we have to get the blue flame spell, which will really help me against the Skeledogs. You see that Twitter thread about the mass 7-Eleven hot dog cooker? Like, you can just buy things. Then one of the guys had an even older hot dog steamer from Coney Island. Do any of those guys know that there used to be hot dog electrocutors? Where you'd stick a terminal into one end of the hot dog and then in the other end you'd fry it like a death row inmate? That was real. And it worked too. That's actually how prisoners commonly heat up hot dogs in their jail cells. You can just take a power cord, snip it, and then use the two ends stuck into a hot dog or potato or whatever you want to cook. It's a fine art because if you do it 1 second too long, it gets burnt inside. You generally want to keep it going until steam comes out. You could buy mass hot dog electrocutors, and that was the appliance. There was no circuitry in it. It was just a power cord that went directly into the hot dogs. And that was how that worked. Well, I really don't like those. I'm really relying on that sword. I thought it was overkill before. Little did I know, Larry. riding upon the creature. Oh. Oh. Oh, his hammer. You have to keep it? Someone's farming here. It's the wind and rain. Leaving this body behind. So you can't go back through that way, okay. That's a baller weapon. Weapon. Mana drain is sure fucking inconvenient. I level up this weapon? I cannot. Wait, I might have overlooked a book. Nope. What are the jailers? Are they sentient? Or are they like magic robots to do this one task? Haven't found the blue fire spell yet. Here we go. You know the classic redneck booby trap of a bunch of shotguns pointed at the front door? Apparently the ancient Chinese emperors thought of that too, but with crossbows. Cat, you want attention right now, huh? Hang on, I gotta pet my cat. No, she just wants to loaf on my lap. You're welcome to loaf there. I love when you loaf on my lap. Well, I need magic, otherwise I can't fight the big Skelemans. Again for money, I gotta go buy some more mana potions. He can lose his brain and not die. Amazing. Are you gonna comment on the hammer? Does nobody notice what I have? Help settle an argument for me about Geppetto. I've been thinking about Geppetto a lot recently. Did he ever, like with Pinocchio? Cause like, he's an adult man, is unmarried. I know in the remake of the movie he had a family and his son died. But that's not in the original Disney film. In the original Disney film, the opening shot is him looking out the window at children playing in the street, and then his shop is full of little boy puppets. See why that's an issue? Alright, he was one of the guys. Alright, interesting. Got a permanent status affliction. It's still going. I'm just saying, like, we don't know for sure what really brought Pinocchio alive. Maybe it happened, like, halfway through coitus because the puppet was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. What the fuck, man? And there's a lot of themes like that in the movie. Like, getting human trafficked along with a bunch of other boys to Pleasure Island. Sounds familiar. And they all turn into asses. It's like, come on, man. I appear to have a permanent status affliction. No, there it stopped finally. There we go. I know Stromboli is probably not one of those guys because he doesn't care about the puppets, except for them making him money, and then he chops them up for firewood if they don't. But the other one, I forget his name, the fat guy with the white hair, who tells boys that they can stay up past their bedtime and eat candy if they follow him to Pleasure Island. That guy is for sure nonce. 100,000%. I don't know if Geppetto is too. But there's some fucked up stuff going on in that movie. Gets him hooked on drugs. This sounds like a Cumtown bit, and I'll be really surprised if Cumtown never did this. Like, imagine, it's like a Toy Story, the Toy Story joke about how the toys have to pretend not to be alive while Andy's putting dildos in his ass. I guess technically, since monster dildos or Bad Dragon dildos are toys, they would come to life too when he's out of the room. Do they enjoy it, or do they hate being put up his ass? But it's like a Jiminy Cricket would have to watch Geppetto do it because he can't reveal that he exists. I'm just saying. It has crossed my mind. Slenderman skeleton ass motherfucker. The themes of the movie seem to be don't lie, but is it really? Don't lie in question marks, like don't tell people what Geppetto does when the shop's closed. Also, don't talk to strangers. It's definitely a stranger danger cautionary tale. If anything, they're more explicit about the consequences of stranger danger than I expected a Disney film to be. With the drinking and the smoking and whatnot. What is this? What is this? This is a burrow. I don't like this. That was terrifying. I never want to do that again. Can I not open this? What is further down the tunnel? Oh, alright. I don't think I get anything for fighting the Skeletmans. Oh, alright. Connects to this area. I better save. Are you jealous that I have a sleepy kitty cat on my lap? She is so sleepy. You have no idea how cozy she is. She might be the coziest cat. That's not legally binding, but she might be. Speculation. I feel confident in that judgment, however. Oh, I'm sorry. My cat didn't cuddle at first either, but I eventually just let her come to me. And I rewarded her with pets when she was on my lap, and I wouldn't pet her. But she stood on the ground yowling at me to pet her because she wanted to be on the ground. I wouldn't pet her, which is cruel. You're going to be like, you monster, how could you deny her pets? Well, it's called operant conditioning. It's about she has to understand that I've got a fucked up back. Or I guess not really, but about the same as anyone else in my age range. And I don't want to lean down to pet her every time. If she wants pets, she can come to where the hands are. So frail and chipped on my right bone. Oh fuck, what the fuck? This thing's terrifying. That sound is bone chilling, if you'll forgive the pun. He's not a heavy hitter, but he's fucking scary for a skeleton. Just now's the time, now or never. That's 2 of them down. I'm out of mana now. That cat is asleep. She's dreaming. I think there's one more, but I don't want to fight it like this. I want mana. There should be a soft fall, like a parachute spell. That'd be genuinely handy. It's not clear yet how to open that. Will it open when I kill all 3 skeletons? Maybe, or... Maybe there's something else I have to do. Oh, holy fuck, it's one of those things! I'm not a big fan of the fact that Skelemans can chase you into tunnels. At least those giant Orbulon elephants can't. If those things could get into tunnels too, all bets would be off. I just play a different... different game. It's 10:30. I think I want to keep going tonight. I am tired and I want to clean more. I'll leave it here. I'm gonna have to do some grinding next time to get enough mana to take out that last skeleton safely. Sorry I'm so sick this time. I'm working on it. I'm working on filtering the air. Getting dust, pet hair, pet dander, mold spores, everything out of the air so the air is clean and I can breathe once more and be healthy and not be miserable all the time. Then resume work on habitats. Probably drilling plastic in this room for years did not help. Having microplastics in the air. But anyway, that's all for this evening. Get out me on Wednesday, same channel, but I can't even talk. It's 7 o'clock p.m. West Coast time to 10:30 p.m. West Coast time. It's your friendly neighborhood head that's signing up for turning you to regular scheduled raid. Who's it going to be? Short talk. A hamster flag. So be it. That's on brand. We were about hamsters once.